Labour have accused Rishi Sunak of leaving families £1,200 worse off despite his Chancellor promising to cut taxes. Jonathan Ashworth, Shadow Paymaster General, joins me from Wellingborough. Jonathan, a very good morning to you. Look, Keir Starmer made it very clear. He said there are huge policy differences between the Labour Party and the Conservatives. Just tell us some of them.
Well, if there's a young couple watching TalkTV this morning and wants to get on the housing ladder, well, I can tell them that a Labour government is going to radically reform the planning rules, which means we're going to build 1.5 million new homes for people, affordable homes.
Where might you
and
build
if that
them,
young
Jonathan?
couple wants to start a family, then we're going to deliver free breakfast clubs in every primary school. And if that family, God forbid, fall ill, they'll get NHS treatment because we're going to deliver 2 million more appointments in the NHS, more dentistry appointments. We're going to speed up cancer diagnosis by investing in state-of-the-art equipment. We're going to deliver more mental health care provision. So that's just an example of a set of policies which will materially benefit the lives of a young couple watching TalkTV this morning. So I do believe there is a big difference between the Conservatives, who have given us 14 years of decline, and a Labour government who is offering a new programme of hope for the future.
So that potentially sounds really exciting, Jonathan. I think what we want to understand is where are you going to find the money to pay for it? Because what we're hearing is, you know, you're not going to cut taxes, are you? Can you give us a bit of clarity?
Well, as you know, working people are paying so much more in tax, 25 Tory tax rises, which means working people and households on average are worse off to the tune of £1,200 under the Conservatives. So people are really struggling at the moment. People's living standards have been squeezed under the Conservatives. But what we do believe is that we can grow the economy, raise living standards, but there are some tax loopholes that we want to close. One of them is called the non-dom tax loophole, where we believe that people who are living here should pay their taxes here. If we close that loophole, we can raise money and put that money into the National Health Service to deliver faster cancer diagnosis, to deliver better mental health care provision, and to deliver 2 million more appointments.
That £1,200 you talk about, though, that's because the Conservatives have kept those tax thresholds frozen. Presumably then, because you've said your policies would be different to the Conservatives, you would unfreeze those tax thresholds.
Can you... Sorry, I completely missed that question.
It's very noisy there.
The local authorities, excellent street cleaning processes
You're talking, Jonathan, about that £1,200, and that's because the Conservatives have frozen the tax thresholds. You've also said you've got different policy ideas to them and they'd be better off under you. Would you unfreeze those tax thresholds?
Well, the issue here, though, is that we will always be disciplined and prudent with the public finances. We will never make irresponsible, unfunded, uncosted commitments. And we've got to be honest with the British public on that. We saw what happened when the Conservatives were reckless with the public finances. It's led to them pushing the economy off a cliff, run on pension funds, and people are paying more on their mortgage as a consequence. Every commitment we put forward will be fully costed and fully funded. So we're not going to make unfunded commitments. There will be a general election, probably later in the year now, because Rishi Sunak is running scared, and there's going to be a number of events before that general election, like a budget and so on. So we'll have to make an assessment of the public finances. But the priority has to be growing the economy. And if you grow the economy, you can raise living standards. People are paying more in tax because the failure of the Conservatives, they're not having an economic plan,
but it
not being able to grow the economy over the last 14 years sufficiently.
That £1,200 extra that you're criticising the Conservatives of under Labour as well. And when you make promises, one big policy announcement we have heard about is that £28 billion a year, the Green Prosperity Fund. But now we hear all the figures are sliding on that as well.
No, we've always said that our investment plans are subject to clear fiscal rules, because we know what happens when governments are irresponsible and reckless with the public finances. That has always been the case. But as we invest in the green jobs of the future to bring energy bills down and create those good, well-paying jobs across the country, we have always said that it will be subject to clear fiscal rules, but we've also said we want to work in partnership with the business community to leverage in private capital investment in jobs and infrastructure, because we know that we've not had that. We've not had that partnership with businesses that the business community is crying out for. So we'll deliver stability, we'll deliver a clear approach to the public finances and work in partnership with our business community to create good, well-paying jobs.
Final thing, Jonathan, how would you stabilise the current situation with the junior doctors on strike? Would you say, OK, the junior doctors will meet with you even while they're behind the picket lines?
You've got to negotiate with the doctors, but equally, look, none of us believe that the demands that are being put on the table, we've not said that can be met, but there's got to be a negotiation. There has to be a negotiation. It's really incumbent now on ministers to get round a table and hammer out and negotiate this, because people do not want to see the quality of care in the NHS so disrupted by ongoing industrial action.
Jonathan, we have to leave it there. Thank you so much for your time. Busy street cleaning behind you. Jonathan Ashworth, really appreciate it.